First off, oh boy, I'm sorry. Hi everyone, and welcome to my channel. Yay! Today we're going to be talking about a movie that I watched and, when I woke up the next day, had to figure out if it was actually real or not. Today we're talking about the one and only Plan B. The sting is in the tail. I knew Plan B just had to be the very first thing I ever talked about when I saw it at Goodwill. I was at Goodwill like an hour and a half from my house, which we already know is a good start to a story, because if a Goodwill is not where you're used to, it's gonna have some wild stuff. But I was at a Goodwill like an hour and a half from my house, and I was just innocently looking for a pair of snow boots because it was gonna snow. And I passed by the DVD section and I saw this, and I couldn't help myself. Visually, if you look at the cover, it looks like it's supposed to be a B movie ripoff, obviously. And as a kid, I loved the B movie. As a child, I also had the worst exposure to movies of all time. And I have the worst opinion of the worst movies of all time because I thought they were great. My movie experience was once described as wanting to play a platform game as a kid and only getting to play Bubsy. If you don't know what Bubsy is, watch this video by Some Call Me Johnny to figure it out. You'll understand the comparison there. So it looks like a B movie, and it has two puns on the cover here. We've got Plan B, which is obviously a pun, and then the sting is in the tail, another pun. So, of course, I think it's going to be great. It's going to be great. And I flipped it over, and there was a few things I noticed right off the bat. This bee face. What is that? If it was this animation, I knew it had to be good. It looked like Hermie the Worm, or any of those other terrible 90s children's films that I watched entirely too much. And then I also want to point out the walking stick on the back cover here. He never shows up in the movie once. They literally created an entire 3D render to put on the back of this, and he never shows up. I'm not even kidding, never. And then it also has this on the back. If you like Plan B, you'll love Ant's Life and A Car's Life. Obviously, these are ripoffs of popular Disney and Pixar films, which are now the same company, I realize. So I was excited to see what this horror of a 50 minute film was. Yes, almost a full hour of a movie. It was made in 2007 by Illumination Filmworks and Sparkplug Entertainment, and it had a budget of $10,000. 10,000 smackaroonies. 10,000. That's like a down payment on a small house. That's a nice car. It's a lot of money. This is not worth that much money. This is like $50 maybe of production value. We'll see in a second. But also, Illumination Filmworks I can find nothing for on the internet. It doesn't exist. I typed in the website that they have on the back here. It literally says illuminationfilmworks.com. And instead it gave me a Japanese website about, I think it's Jerusalem Artichoke. Not even the Google Translate could figure it out. And I'm pretty sure it gave me malware. McAfee says I'm fine, but I'm not convinced. Sparkplug on the other hand, did come up. Sparkplug Entertainment is a studio that was founded by Michael Schlepp. Apparently this man really hates cartoons and really hates children, because he's made a ton of these mockbuster films, and they get worse as time progresses. His other fantastic films include Bug Bites and Ant's Life, A Car's Life, Sparky's Big Adventure, A Car's Life 2. There's no subtitle. Cars Life 3, The Royal Heist, Piper the Penguin and His Fantastic Flying Machines, Spider's Webby Pig's Tale. Now, that's what the official IMDb page lists those, and they're very hard to find, proof that these existed, but I researched the internet for far too long, and found out that there may be more of these terrible movies directed by the one and only Michael Schlepp, which include The Adventures of Scooter the Penguin. Don't know how it's different than Piper the Penguin and His Fantastic Flying Machines, but maybe one day we'll find out. A fourth car's life, Junkyard Blues. Toys going wild, Max saves the world, and whatever this word is.
Báječný tučňák na létajících strojích.
And it means a wonderful penguin on flying machines, which implies that he re-released Piper the Penguin and his Fantastic Flying Machines in Czech. Sparkplug Entertainment, of course, has no website. Why would they? No one wants to admit that they are the ones who did this. Michael Schlipp is also not totally rejected by everyone who's ever existed, apparently, because this IMBD entry does exist, and it sounds like he's well off enough. Two things that are just absolutely wild to me to point out are the Starz Premium Cable channel. I don't know what Starz is doing, but they need to stop, apparently. And he also worked on Spike TV's Mansers. Unfortunately, this explains a lot. That's not a good fact. I did entirely too much research and found his LinkedIn. And well, here it is. I also made an entire LinkedIn to contact this man, and he hasn't contacted me back. So, Michael Schlipp, you, sir, are a baby. You can't even man up and admit to your own creation. 12 of these things, and you won't do an interview with me, a person who literally created a LinkedIn only to contact you? We can talk about the movie now. So, it's insane, and I wanted to just see what I could find out more about him because he's also insane. So anyways, plan B. Okay, so here's what the back says. We're still giving context here, because literally I watched it at like midnight, woke up the next day at 9 a.m., turned to my friend and went, did what we watched was real, and we had to verify. So anyways, here's what the back says.
Bing loves being a bee in DC. He loves the fresh air, the fragrant blossoms, and the honey. But when a ruthless new queen hijacks the hive, Bing's world is turned upside down. There's no time to smell the roses anymore. Instead, Bing struggles to meet sky-high honey production quotas while avoiding vicious rivals. How can Bing take the sting out of his joyless new life? Resist the queen's tyranny? Demands his friend Bonnie. But it's not that easy. Bing is loyal. Still, he knows that when unalienable rights are taken away, a bee's got to start buzzing.
I want to clarify and say I didn't read the back when I bought this. I just bought it because it looked janky. Now you may be thinking, how do they fit that much plot in a 50-minute movie? Why does it sound like a Game of Thrones bee ripoff?